what today is, right?
Please, enlighten me.
It is National Cocktail Day.
Who wants a cocktail?
Is it too early for a drink?
No, it's a little early for me.
You guys like to party?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Perhaps you'd like to partake in the party?
Why not celebrate early? It's too early.
Today is National Cocktail Day, so you have an excuse.
Okay, you've convinced me.
Happy National Cocktail Day.
It's showtime.
Oh, it's National Cocktail Day. Demetrius got all excited, but we don't have any cocktails, so screw that up. It is Monday, March 24th, 2025. Welcome to it. I'm Andrew Z. Demetrius, Nicodemus, Kelly Latz, the princess of property from Howard Hanna Realty. Kelly, what's your favorite cocktail?
Oh, my goodness.
Got to be a cocktail.
Espresso martini.
Espresso martini, all right.
Or a dirty martini. Or
a bottle of wine. Or some Ripple. Or a little Thunderbird.
How about you, Demetrius? If you got to go down the cocktail route, what is it?
It's the only route I go.
Oh, okay.
So it's...
I thought you usually just get like Jack and Coke or Jack and...
That's a cocktail.
Oh, okay.
Anything with liquor in it.
Anything with liquor and what, 2 ingredients? Because if you just
or
did
a mixer, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to have a mixer. So it's got to have a liquor and a mixer?
Yeah.
All right, so what is it?
So I, like now my go-to is Tito's and Sprite.
All right. Sprite.
Yeah.
Why Tito's? Is that you don't do Jack anymore?
You know I should. Because I will say this: when I made the biggest mistake of my life, and got married, the other adult in the house was like, "I don't like how you act when you drink whiskey."
Oh, yeah.
She said you turn mean.
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's me all the time."
Yeah, right.
I'm not mean. I'm just sarcastic. And
what?
And so I stopped drinking Jack, and I moved to vodka. She said vodka made me happier. And I was like, why can't you change your name to vodka?
Ridiculous. All right. After all that, good morning. So what's going on? Let's see. I watched a...
What's your go-to mocktail?
I don't...
Anything with fruit and water in it.
I like a good
Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple, Roy Rogers are good.
What's a Roy Rogers?
What? So Shirley Temple is
I know who Shirley
is Sprite and
I know who Shirley Temple is.
I know who Shirley Temple is.
She's Sprite and grenadine. A Roy Rogers is Coke and grenadine.
That is disgusting.
Oh my God, it's delicious. And now as an older, I do if I do a Roy Rogers, it'd be a Diet Roy Rogers, it'd be a Diet Coke and grenadine.
I like to drink a John Wayne.
Nothing
but dust and ass whoopings.
You never heard of a Roy Rogers?
No, I have not.
Speaking of John Wayne and Roy Rogers, though, I did catch. I was on Tubi this weekend because it's free.
Said no one ever.
It's free.
I think the only time anybody used Tubi was for the Super Bowl and then deleted it immediately. It sounds too much like a porn site.
So I was on Tubi, and they have the Sundance Channel, which is like old movies, and they had a Dirty Harry marathon.
I love Dirty Harry.
Man,
I watch him. I have him taped. I watch.
Do you
all
really?
Of them. Yes, I love him.
When it comes to badass cops and cowboys, Clint Eastwood
is the man.
Jesus,
he's so awesome.
Oh my God, that the smolder. He's got smoldered down.
Yeah, I love him, and I love. I also have on my tapes the old Death Wish. I love him too. What is
Charles
Bronson?
Charles
Bronson.
I love him.
Charles Bronson played a good cop, he played a good cowboy, and he played an excellent vigilante.
Man, I love him.
That was one of the roughest movies I'd ever seen.
It's to this day, if you watch the first one, it's so raw. This girl, when his
the sexual assault. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
You're like,
it's like I can't believe they allowed it on TV.
I'm like, I assume somebody in this scene got arrested.
Oh my God!
This looks real.
Oh my God! It's awful.
Really? What's it called?
Death Wish.
Oh, that's like one of his famous. That's a famous one. I haven't seen
that one.
one.
He had 4 of them, and I love them all.
Which is crazy. How many wishes you gonna grant for death? Did he have a death genie? I give you 4 death wishes.
I had so I watched one of the Dirty Harrys. It's the one where there's bad bad cops. The bad
enforcer.
The bad. No, this was bad.
Dirty. What's his
bad
name?
Motorcycle cops.
Yes.
Was
The
it the
regular
enforcer?
cops,
Was it the
yeah.
enforcer?
They're-
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't see. I didn't
Because
catch
they had a bad lieutenant who ran
Yes,
with them.
yeah.
And David Soul was
David
one
Soul.
of the bad
I was
ones.
just gonna say
Yeah.
Starsky and Hutch
Yeah.
was the bad guy. I'm like, oh man, funny. All right, I got some text message 419-345-3375. Vodka is blackout sauce. Too much and you wake up. How the hell did I get here? Another one says how amazing how much Hugh Jackman looks so much like Clint Eastwood. Hugh Jackman, Clint Eastwood. I didn't notice that.
Me neither.
I will have to take a look at that. Thank you for that. Speaking of looks, though, we did watched some Trader over the weekend, and man, I got to tell you what. You remember Trainer Bob was when Biggest Loser was its biggest. Trainer Bob, it was Bob and Jillian.
Yeah.
And you look at and now Trainer Bob is on Trader. Dude looks like a frail old 70-year-old man. And he had a heart attack like 8 years ago.
I
He doesn't
remember
train. He doesn't do anything anymore. And he just looked old and frail. Like he couldn't even get up a hill. And I was like so sad.
How old is he? Our age?
Shit. I don't know. Hold on.
He can't be. Yeah, he's probably around our age.
How old is Trainer Bob from Biggest Loser?
How old is Bob the Builder?
Trainer Bob is Bob Harper. Oh, come on. Stay so stupid. How old is Trainer Bob Harper from Biggest Loser? Okay, hold on. Here we go. He was born in 65. That would make him
Well, I was
60? Almost 60?
Yeah.
Almost 60.
He's
He
older,
looks
slightly
70,
older
man.
than us.
I pulled it because Colleen never watched Biggest Loser. She didn't watch
Oh, my
reality shows.
gosh.
She wasn't allowed to watch reality shows. So I pulled up a picture from season 1 of Biggest Loser. She's like, Jesus, man! I'll tell you what. You can be the best shape and be everything, and then some fucking disease hits you, and within like a year or two, you'll look like a changed person. It's scary.
Well, it's not just the disease.
Whatever.
though,
What is it?
Because it's fear.
Fear.
Like, he was a fitness guy for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And then he has a heart attack, right? Yeah. So now you were doing sit-ups, you're running miles, and the muscle that runs everything else that you've been training for all just gives up on you. And now you're terrified. You're terrified to get back on a treadmill. You're terrified to do another push-up. You're terrified to exert yourself because you don't trust your heart.
Yeah.
That is true. It's true.
Yeah.
But it just in general.
And you die inside, apparently.
But how many times in general just have you seen people who are like fine and perfectly healthy, and then all of a sudden, man, it ain't that way anymore. Something happens. It's scary. As you get older, it's scary. Let's see. Oh, here's the picture of Clint Eastwood, but they didn't send a picture of Hugh Jackman. He does look like Hugh Jackman. Look, kinda.
He's hot.
He looks like Wolverine.
Yeah.
if that's your criteria.
Of course. It's the same person.
It's like he looks just like Hugh Jackman in Wolverine.
Over the weekend, I watched a documentary on pizza, and it made me want to go to. There's a place, I think it's Connecticut or something, where the 3 first pizzerias ever in the history of the country. They're all in like Connecticut, and it's Pepe's, Modern, and Sally's, and all. Man, East Coast people are so fucking snobby when it comes to pizza. But anyway, those 3, they're all New York style. They're all thin crust. They're not New York style. They're just their own style. They don't look that delicious, but it made me want to take a road trip. It's 10 hours. Made me want to take a road trip, 10 hours. Spend like 2 days and just eat like that. Eat these 3. The first one of them was the first pizza shop, and then his brother and him got in an argument, so he opened the second one, and then there's this third one called Modern. So there's 3 different pizzerias that were the first pizzas ever in the history of this Americas, and it made me want to go, man. Someone said, "Is there no show today?" What is going on?
Maybe because at one time we did say we were going to be on spring break.
Is it on?
Yeah.
I mean, the stream is on, right?
Yeah, everything's
Okay.
on. Everything.
So yes, there's a show.
I had to wait to check though, because just when people say that,
Yeah,
you're
you
like,
get one, and you're
would
like,
I hit
oh my god!
Did I not hit a button? Here. Oh yeah, we're there. We're there. We're there, baby. We're there. We're there. Hold on, let me check one more thing. But we're there. So anyway, pizza. I like pizza, and I think it would be a fun trip. Just go. Wouldn't you want to go to the first pizzeria ever? Isn't that interesting or no? Is that not interesting for anyone else?
I mean, I would absolutely do it. Drive 10 hours and just eat pizza. I don't know about that.
I know. I don't know if I'd drive 10 hours to Connecticut.
Yeah.
Like Connecticut strikes me as one of the whitest states in the union.
For sure.
And their pizza doesn't really bring me comfort.
Well, they say that's where a lot of the Italian immigrants had settled back then.
And then they realized they were in Connecticut and moved to New York.
Right.
And they're like, we can't start a mafia here. There's nothing but maple syrup and spruce trees.
Fun times. What else is going on?
So I watched your movie.
Which one?
Anora?
What did you think?
Oh my gosh! So speaking of porn, I mean, it's a lot of sex in that movie. A lot of sex. But I mean,
There's
good.
sex.
It was good. It wasn't what I expected. I mean, the ending was kind of shocking to me because, you have said it's kind of like Pretty Woman. Well, Pretty Woman ends up nice and happy. This did not. But it was good. I mean, it kept my attention for sure.
So did you see? So on 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I mean, probably an 8.
Really? See?
Yeah.
So you liked it?
I did.
It was a good movie. She's feisty.
She's feisty.
I love it. I loved it.
Yes. And I.
Scrappy little prostitute.
She was
a scrappy
Don't call her
little,
that because she'll punch you in the face.
scrappy little prostitute. Look at you. Out here carving your own way.
Yeah. Don't you call her that, man.
No, dude. She will cut you, bro. She'll cut you.
Yeah.
She
Because
broke
that's
this.
not the behavior of a prostitute.
She broke this dude's nose with her foot. Movie was so good. Well, you also went saw Snow White this weekend.
I did.
So let me tell you. So I watched a review on Facebook. They said not good. They said two problems. One of them was Gal Gadot. They said she was terrible as the evil mother, as the queen or whatever, the evil queen, and that she almost looked like she was playing a parody when everyone else was playing like a real movie. It's like every time she said something, this dude didn't like it, and then he didn't like how the freaking dwarves were so CGI. It was embarrassing. He said, "I don't know,
So,
Kelly."
Interesting. I went with Tim, and Tim liked it. He liked it as much as he liked Wicked.
Ooh.
Yeah, he really, really liked it. I thought it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. I liked it. I don't think it was as good as Wicked. I think Snow White was charming and sweet, and I love this. Tim's like, does every Disney movie now have to be a freaking musical? I thought the songs were good, though. I did, and I would. I'm glad I saw it. I wish the reason why I went to Snow White versus the Mafia movie is because it was like at 1 o'clock on a Friday, and I knew that after 3 o'clock, I could never see Snow White without 9,000 children.
Oh. Right.
And especially going into spring break.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I liked it. I wouldn't see it again.
No. Well, this guy too said that because there was really only there was only a handful of characters. Most of it was CGI. So poor Snow White, what's her name, Rachel Ziegler.
Right, Rachel.
She's having to act with all these CGI things, and
I thought she was amazing.
They said she was good. They said she was the highlight.
Yeah, she was amazing.
How did Gal Gadot sing? This guy said she was not a good singer.
I have to disagree with that. I thought she was good.
Who is this guy?
He's on TikTok.
He wears a white coat.
He's a doctor of movies.
Dr. Popcorn here.
Dr. Popcorn.
Hi. Let me give you a little kernel of knowledge.
It was just interesting to hear his take, and then I wanted to hear Kelly's take.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I wouldn't see it again. I don't think it's one of Disney's best movies. However, I thought it was charming. It was exactly what I thought it was, and I'm glad I went.
You know what else Dr. Popcorn said? It was that I thought was interesting was he said that name one good Mickey movie.
Fantasia.
It was terrible. The people hated it. It was
Fantasia
panned.
was a great movie.
Okay, in the last 75 years. Name a good. His point was that your most famous character, like why are you not putting him in good movies? Like why are you giving Ratatouille a fucking great movie and you're not giving Mickey one? He goes, you're lagging in sales of movies lately. Some of your movies have not been that good. Everyone knows and loves Mickey. Put your best writers in a Mickey feature and put Mickey in there.
Snow White won the weekend. What are we talking about?
But it won the weekend, but it also was disappointing
right now because one guy is just look. Mickey Mouse has been branded as he's the kid's character.
Yeah,
he is on every
What, but they made Goofy movies.
When's the last time you saw a Goofy movie?
But before,
only one Goofy
sooner than
movie.
Fantasia, there was two. But yeah, the Goofy movie is the big one. But why did? But he's right though. Why not just put your best writers in there and write something good for Mickey? Everyone would go see him. Who wouldn't go see a Mickey movie? Everyone would.
And what are you going to go see him in?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
They have to write it. They have to write something.
He doesn't really have a storyline.
That's the point. They're like Goofy. Donald's got family, and everyone's got family, and it's fucking just Mickey. Like, why haven't we developed a Mickey character?
He's got three.
Minnie's her own
He's got a
thing.
best friend, Donald Duck.
and he does have nephews. And let's not forget, he is everywhere on the Disney network.
Right.
He has every kid show. So what are you going to do to jeopardize this brand that he is? Because right now he is every child's best friend. He teaches them how to read. He teaches them colors. And you're going to put him in a situation where he may have to do something a little morally ambiguous? Like, what are you doing?
Because I'm telling you, we need a background on Mickey now. I mean, it's been 100 years. We don't have a big background on Mickey like we have on other characters, and it's like it's time for one.
I cannot. This is
time
the
for
craziest criticism I've ever heard.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
We demand a Mickey movie.
We do.
I want to see Mickey in Blade 3.
Whatever. You're ridiculous.
Hello, Daywalker.
All right, let's get into the news. There's a lot going on around here.
Christ.
Well, before that, let me get some text message in 419-345-3375. Someone said, "Yeah, F this guy. Let's get a review from a 10-year-old."
Yeah. How did you like it? The movie was made for you, not a grown man looking at you.
That's man. All right, let's get into the news. What's your problem, Demetrius?
I
said the news, it triggered you.
Yeah, it did.
It's a rough weekend? A lot has been going on this weekend.
Man, this whole...
I know what you can do.
You know what I'm talking about.
The missing 13-year-old?
No.
What were you going to do?
What are you
going to talk? What did you want to bring up?
Them rolling back segregation.
Oh,
holy shit!
Whoa, we're not there yet. We haven't even done the local stuff yet. Whoa, you were triggered.
That's the biggest thing. What?
I know
the local stuff. I should be concerned about the local stuff
you
versus somebody being able to keep colored people out of their building.
Here's what Colleen said. Because after I went to bed, she says, "Let me ask you a question. Is there a segregation bullshit?" And I said, "Yes." And she just started fucking going off. Fucking disgusting 2025 in the shit of our country and blah 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 and deport Melania and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh god. I'm going to bed. I don't want you to work me up.
Bro, so I saw it on TikTok, and this is how I do things, right? Right? No,
the first one to make fun of us. Was it?
Let me finish.
Was it Dr. Popcorn?
Let me finish. I heard a lot of people talk about it. So the first thing I do is get off of TikTok and look shit up. That's what I do. I look things up that sound fishy to me.
Right.
And so
this does sound fishy.
I'm like, nobody would do that.
Nobody
would do. And so I look at it, and then sure than shit, here we go. There it is in executive orders.
Well, for those who don't know, we gotta say. So I guess we're skipping past.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
so no, it's okay. For those who don't know, there was something, and you gotta help me. It was signed in the. It was an executive order that Donald Trump signed that basically
it took out language that requires companies that get government contracts to have some form of representation of minorities. And it was like they took that language out. So it's no longer have to meet that criteria to get a government contract.
You could absolutely now you could make people go to separate bathrooms. You could have colored bathrooms. You could have colored water fountains again. You can do all that stuff.
I mean, it's still illegal. It's still state banned. There's still that, right? And there's still some federal laws that make it illegal. Now, this though is like when you chip away at something like that, and you're like, well, we don't need it. And a friend of mine was like, well, it's okay because any company that does this will face the wrath of the country. We will boycott. We won't buy products. We won't do any of those things. And I was like, that's great if Coca-Cola ever gets a government contract. But what about Boeing and these places that make missiles and things like that? That nobody cares. You're not buying a missile publicly. You can't buy a missile. So it goes towards the government. All of this stuff.
Well, and the other thing, too, is this whole public thing isn't a thing anymore. Because you have to remember, 49.5% of the country voted for Donald Trump. So you can have colored people water fountains, and 49.5% of the people will still buy your shit.
That.
They will.
I really hope that's not a thing.
It's been proven over and over that when we say that's wrong what this company is doing because it's blah blah blah, then Trump's people will come in and support that company even more, and so there is no downside anymore.
There has to be a downside to segregation.
I know, bro.
And it has to like enrage, it has to scare, it has to shake us to our foundation. Something and understand that like this is something this isn't old. I mean, it happened in the 60s and 70s. It wasn't until the 70s.
There are people still alive on this planet, a lot of them, that dealt with segregation. And so we're talking about this, people living now.
Yeah.
It's not, like you said, it's 50 years ago.
Oh, my God. It scares me. I'm scared.
I know. Well, we have marginalized people in this. Look, there's two ways to govern. There's the way that you should do it because you have a moral center, and there's easy ways to do it. The easy way to do it is, man, look at those blacks, look at those brown skins, look at those retards, look at those weirdos that wear dresses, look at those, and you can attack these marginalized segments, and but the moral ground is you shouldn't do it. You should protect them. Because that's not the right thing to do. It's the easy thing to do because they're weirdos, but it's not the right thing to do. And unfortunately, that's where we're at in this country. And people that are not white and people that are not in the flow just have to be worried again. And it's including women, and it's fucking sad.
It's funny they don't see it though.
No. Because you demonize when you say that brown people are bringing in the drugs and black people are killing everybody and transgender people are raping your children. As long as you make them bad people, then the simple-minded will go right along with whatever you're doing. Like the Venezuelan gangs, they're like, well, they're all gang members. We don't know they're all, but we believe this fucking guy that lied 75,000 times in his first term because he says they're fucking gang members. One of the guys they sent back to Nicaragua was a gay hairdresser who just had tattoos on. He wore tattoos like any other gay hairdresser would, and now they sent this guy back to this country. He was a celebrity hairdresser, and he's gone now because they said he was in a gang. So just because this fucking asshole says they're in a gang, we allow it to happen, but because they're gang members, we can't fight. You can say, oh, you're fighting for gang members? That's the way that they frame it, so you look like an asshole as rights are being ripped away from us left and right, and we just sit there and let it happen.
Well, that is when you fight back with facts. Like you say, hey, according to ICE, their own documents, 85% of these people that we sent back had no criminal history, no violent criminal history.
They don't care because Donald Trump says that they are gang members.
It's all right. I'm going to Canada.
I know, dude. Colleen said, "Where we moving and when we moving?" She said, "I'm packing my shit. Let's go." Oh my God. DJ Richie said, "Who has two thumbs and is a Debbie Downer?" Demetrius.
It's because your ass was in my chair.
He was. He did it on purpose just to fuck with you. He was over this weekend working on some equipment for me, and he had to take a picture.
Yeah,
I said, "Don't sit in Demetrius's chair." He goes, "I'm gonna sit in it and take a picture of it."
Yeah.
I-75 reopened after the weekend closure in a repair damaged overpass. Someone said, "Well, looks like they closed Toledo again," because you couldn't go up and down 75 all weekend long because someone hit it on Friday. But they worked hard, and it's supposed to be up and going this weekend, or today. So it was damaged over the weekend. All right, let's get to this one I thought you were going to say. This 13-year-old girl that's missing. Search parties gathered to search in North Toledo to find Kimani Latigue. She's been missing since the evening of March 16th, according to family members. Why is it that this is the second one? We had Ocean Jones. Why is this the second one that's just weird? Like family members not helping and accusing other family members and accusing grandmas. And it's like, why is everyone, when someone's missing, why is everyone not on the same page just to find this girl? And they're just fighting, and it's online, and you took her and you killed her and you did this. It's like, whoa, settle down, people. We don't even know. We don't know anything. But why can't we all get together? Why are they fighting? I don't understand it. It's on my timeline like constantly. Anyone else or no? Just me? Because I'm on black Facebook. So
It's on mine also.
is it okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. It is devastating. And I mean, these young girls, I mean, what's going on?
I don't know. There's all kinds of shady shit that they're saying. So we'll see what happens with that poor thing. Hopefully she gets found.
Right.
So this is weird. This broke on Friday, and I did a video on it because it was within the first 2 hours of breaking, people were losing their minds, saying this teacher is a horrible person. So teacher has a class in Perrysburg at the Hull Prairie Middle School. Hull Prairie Middle School.
Everybody's talking about this.
Everybody.
What do you mean? What do you mean, everybody? Really? Are they?
Like I didn't hear it on the internet. I actually was in a group of people.
Perrysburg
who
people
were like talking about this.
So here's the thing. So this teacher is in the class, and they're going to do a pizza party if everyone like completes something, some piece of homework or something. And this one person said, I guess left it. I'm putting some of. I'm just telling you. I'm not reading because I could read the story, but this is basically what it is. So they said this kid didn't bring her homework back, or this assignment back to get the pizza party. So the teacher said, well, that's all right. I'll follow you. I'll meet you at your house, and just hand it to me. So the teacher's at the front door, the girl's in there and whatever, and then the dad comes home and sees the teacher, the male teacher there. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? So that he emails the school, and the teacher's now put on administrative leave, and Perrysburg is losing its mind. Now, my take was, why are you losing your mind? Because in my mind, what I see is this kid lied, and the teacher's like, all right, I'm done with this lying. I'm going to meet you at home. Just hand me the homework, which is what happened in the olden days. It was not a big deal.
No, it didn't.
No?
That never happened
What do you
in
mean?
the olden days. A teacher never followed me home to demand homework. You know what happened?
Huh.
It didn't get handed in the next day. That's when you knew I was lying. That is when
But
you
he
knew.
didn't want it. He didn't want it to be able to go home and do it that day when it was supposed to be done the other day.
Well, you know what? Too bad. Understand your.
You were hanging around with the wrong
lane.
people this weekend.
No, that is crazy as hell. You stay your ass in that classroom. You do not follow a student. You don't meet a student at his home unless you call the parents and you let an administrator know what's going on. The fuck are you doing?
Well, yes, he could have handled it differently.
He
to where
should have handled it
He could
differently.
have handled it differently in the fact that he could have called the parents first and said he was going to come over or something like that, but he didn't do that. But anyway, so
I just glazed over the most important part. Him just stalking a small child on his way home. Totally fine.
So I say I don't understand. I read it. And I truly didn't understand the outrage. I just didn't. And then I know, because I'm kind of in the Perrysburg School District, I know that this teacher has a history. So then, so I pulled the video down. Not on this story. I don't know what the history is. I don't know if there was more to this story. It may have just been nothing. But I know this teacher has history, so it made it really weird. So I pulled my take down. But I don't with the actual story. I just don't see that big a deal. Go to the house, grab the homework. Grab the homework. Everyone does a pizza party. Were you lying or were you not lying?
You don't.
Let's call you out.
You don't follow a child home.
In my day, my parent would have
you
said,
didn't go to school. Who followed you home? That was not a teacher, bro. You need to understand that.
In my day, the parent would have said, "Come on in. Let's both find out if she did her homework."
Yeah.
Come on. Let's have a cup of coffee. Let's go. Did you do your fucking homework or not? So that's
in your day, a parent would have been home. It sounds to me like no adult was in that house other than that teacher.
But he didn't come in the house, did he? I heard he was on the porch.
You don't show up on my porch. Bro, I'm not going to see a grown-ass man on my porch when my child is at home alone. That is not a fucking thing.
It's not a
You
thing.
called me. You say, hey, so-and-so said that they did their homework. She does not, or he does not have it. So tomorrow, that's what we're doing. But you don't just show up at somebody's house.
Well, that's the way most people thought it, and I didn't see that. Someone said, would Andrew still have the same opinion if pizza wasn't on the line? Someone said, yeah, but he didn't ask the parents first, which I think that's the biggest problem. Ooh, man, these are coming in. How bad do you want that damn pizza party for real, for real?
I know, because if it was that big of a deal, then you just keep the kid out of the pizza party. Yeah. You keep that kid out of the pizza party. You send her or him to the library or whatever the fuck, but you do not follow that child home.
Look. Looking back, we've said this before. Oh, he shoulda. There are a million ways to handle something, but was the way he handled it inappropriate? Yes, he could have handled better. He could have called the thing for the parents first. He could have not. We could have done a lot of things, but does that mean he did something wrong?
Yes.
You say yes.
Yes, he did. And that's, look, in my opinion, right, if you're a teacher, any kind of adult, which is what usually gets people fucked up, is nobody thinks, they just react. He hears the lie, and he's like, I'm just going to go to your house. He doesn't go, you know what? What are the ramifications of me showing up at this what are the things that could possibly happen that, and he's just mad, so he's just going to show up.
Right.
But your job as a teacher and as an adult is to think through those steps and go, you know what? What's the best way for me to minimize any kind of wrongdoing that may be perceived from this action? We all know that right now in the news, teachers banging students is a big deal. Right? Yes. Inappropriateness is a big deal.
Yes.
I'm in a district.
Every week we have a story.
Yeah. I'm in a district that just released their principal and one other teacher because they have history, right? So does it make sense for me as a Perrysburg teacher right now with the district in the condition that it is to show up unannounced with nobody's parent at home with this child for homework?
So, I mean, I used to work in the school, and I used to be a parent in the school, and literally the priest said to me, Kelly, I get that you're a parent and you're going to have people at your house and you're going to be driving people home, but you can never be alone with a student. He said, and we drove a lot of kids home. I mean, it was a Catholic school, so they did not have buses. But every time I drove a kid home, I had to have somebody else in the car with me. And he's like, this is for your safety, nobody else's. He's like, you have to protect yourself because you could get in trouble. And so, I mean, I just think that even back then, when you really didn't hear about women and with others, teachers with students, you didn't hear about it a lot. And if so, it was a man with a student. But people had foresight of how to protect yourself and what you can do. And I think that nowadays, especially, you have to protect the student, everybody. And for him to physically go
Look,
into a car
there's
and
no,
drive.
there's no one saying. Look, you guys are
was
missing the
wrong.
point. There's no one saying it was the best way to handle this. And I want to get away from this situation because I do have other information that makes him kind of allegedly creepy. So, but in general, there's no way the reason you couldn't name a million scenarios where something could have handled it different. But does that mean the way he handled it was wrong? I don't think so.
Absolutely.
I
It was
disagree.
wrong.
Disagree.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, so
His check will
so
reflect
he's on,
it.
so he's on so he's on administrative leave, Perrysburg teacher, and they're doing some investigation. But again, we'll see.
And nobody got the pizza party. Nobody.
Really? Did that not?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
How hilarious
that
would
would
that be? Like, because your teacher fucked it up for
Yeah.
you.
oh my God! Right? Let's see. You got to know which way the wind is blowing. Teacher, read the damn room. That is true. Are you working on the buzz sound? There's a buzz? Hold on. God damn it. Fuck. Okay, now you can hear. Now everything is good. I apologize. Yeah, there we go. I apologize to everyone. I don't know what I did wrong, but it should be fixed. What am I saying? Toledo man is accused of throwing feces. He was in the area of Sylvania and Walworth around 2:30 on March 20th, 2:30 in the afternoon. Police say Demetrius Strong,
Damn.
damn, 41 of Toledo, was allegedly randomly shooting at vehicles in a parking lot, including one ran through the windshield of a car with two people inside. Strong took off from the scene, but SWAT units eventually located the suspect a few blocks down Sylvania near Burton. Strong allegedly fought with officers and dumped a large bucket of feces placed next to the dumpster where he had been hiding on them. I don't. Was it his bucket of
Was it
feces?
his bucket? Could you imagine if that's somebody else's bucket and they come back and it's empty? Like, there is a poop bucket fairy around here.
Who has a bucket of poop hanging around?
Someone says it sounds fine. I have the app. Never lost anything. Sound is good here. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. So anyway, Jesus, his bond was set at $200,000. He's set back in court on March 27th.
He's homeless and crazy. You can set his bond at $5 and he's still not getting out.
Like I always tell people, if you don't have it, $5 is $1 million.
It is.
Which, you know what is interesting? What country was I watching? Was it Canada? I was watching something on another country, and they have or I was reading something. I can't remember what it was, but they have your bail is based on your income. Wouldn't it be a great idea? That's a great idea. Because $100, $1,000 bond to someone that's rich, you give a fuck. $1,000 bond is $1 million to someone that's poor. So $1,000 could be $10 to someone that's homeless. So maybe we should have a sliding scale of bond.
Well, we absolutely should, but unfortunately, the justice system and the bond system itself is set up to make money.
Yeah, no, you're right, 100%. Did you see this? 6 people arrested for allegedly kidnapping and beating victim for days on end.
Have you
This
seen
fucking
these cats?
hillbilly ass?
I know, I did
What
see
the?
them.
It looked like they were doing Deliverance too.
Yeah, it did.
Hillbilly,
Oh my
these
God!
hillbilly motherfuckers.
And like a woman, what the hell?
I know. So Aaron Bradshaw, 49, Austin Bradshaw, 23. What I say? the Incest Boys band are back. Aaron Bradshaw, Austin Bradshaw, David Cessna, Martina Jones,
The
Michael
Mountain
Esquit.
Delinquents.
Man. The incident started around March 14th, lasted for about a week. Police affidavits allege the 6 people held a victim against his will by threatening violence toward him. Police said the victim was beaten with a baseball bat, made to stand for extended periods of time, was only allowed to eat and drink once a day, and only slept for 10 hours during a 7-day stretch. Toledo police said the victim had injuries all over his body. Charging documents did not disclose what led up to the alleged kidnapping or possible motive. The defendants are scheduled to face a judge Monday morning. Beat these motherfuckers' ass, man, and they are disgusting looking, and I'm so annoyed by them right now. And I don't know, it's because they're so ugly that they annoy me.
And how did they
what.
get caught? I wonder.
I don't know.
When you let the kidnapped victim go,
Oh, did they let him go?
they kind of like go and find a cop.
Oh, did the victim get away or something? Is that what happened? Someone said, someone posted, they're like, oh my God, I saw these guys shopping in Kroger. Like, because you can't miss them. They're just they're disgusting ass people. A pregnant woman escapes a man who was holding her captive and beating her. A pregnant woman escaped a man who was beating her and flagged down a Good Samaritan for help, police said. Now the man faces multiple felony charges. Police arrested 33-year-old Omar Dancer just before 5 p.m. Sunday. The woman told police that he punched and kicked her multiple times in the head and stomach Friday. She was pregnant, too. She also said that while assaulting her over an hour time period, he wouldn't let her leave the house, grabbed a knife, told her, we're both going to die today. The woman was able to eventually run into the street shirtless and bloodied and got the attention of someone driving by. Nearly 4
Of course she did.
Jesus, man. Nearly 4 years ago to the day, the dude was convicted of domestic violence in Macomb County, Michigan, according to police reports. He's due to be arraigned today. A woman with kids in a car intentionally crashed into another vehicle multiple times. Police say arrested Elisa Jones, 30, before 6 p.m. Saturday. It unfolded at the Robert Durrell Manor Apartments on Southwick Boulevard. Nothing good happens on Southwick Boulevard.
Yeah.
Police said Jones had her 2 children in the backseat of her vehicle when she drove into someone else's car multiple times.
Oh, my goodness.
She's charged with endangering children and criminal damaging, both misdemeanors. She's due to be arraigned this morning as well. Wow. The car crashes into a Toledo mosque. Police are searching for the driver. This happened around 3 a.m. at Muhammad Mosque, at number 91, which is the corner of Nebraska and Brown. Police say the driver of the white Jeep Grand Cherokee didn't stick around at the scene. Someone else picked them up. Another car drove away. A Swanton deputy fire chief has resigned. Announced that he's resigning his position. And over in Rossford, they had brought their new fire class, their full-time fire class, and there's a brother and dad in the fire department now, which is kind of cool. Did you see the retro revival of the Sundance movie theater out in Oregon? It's been around 75 years, and they did a cool like 50s retro vibe, did a whole remodeling of it. I think it opens this weekend. This past or this.
Yeah, that's
coming
comforting
up.
with all the stuff we've been rolling back. Let's take it back to the 50s.
I love an old school drive-in. I love it. My kids though, they said they like the other one better, the Field of Dreams. But I don't know. It's in this dude's backyard. Have you ever been to Field of Dreams?
I've never been in a dude's backyard. I don't do that.
Dude, you drive and you're going through a neighborhood, and all of a sudden it's like turn left here, and you're turning into his driveway, and in the backyard there's a giant movie theater. An outdoor movie theater, and like he's selling like the food, the concessions out of like the back of his house in
Is
a
that
slash
legal?
farm. He's been doing it for like 20 years.
I'm just like, how do his neighbors feel about this?
I don't know. I don't know.
Does he have to like get it okayed with the health department?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got all his accreditations, but it's throwing off because you think you're going the wrong way because you're going just down a neighborhood street out in the middle of Liberty Center. So you're already out in nowhere, and you're driving down backway highways or whatever, and then you finally come up to this house, and you pull in the driveway in the backyard. There's the movie theater.
And so, what is that zoned? I mean, I have so much questions.
It sounds like the mullet ordinance.
Mullet ordinance of
as long as you cut the front, it can be crazy in the back.
Of 92. Yes, house in the front, party in the back. Well, and I don't know. My kids like that one better because it's on grass. It's his lawn. It's on his lawn. We're at the one at Sundance. You know, it's all gravel. It's gravel, so the kids can't really run around. Your trailer kids can't run around without like flip flops.
Because you ain't supposed to be running around watching this movie.
Yeah, right. Someone said that Mosque used to be a record store back in the 80s. The Mosque. Michigan court affirms a ban on brass knuckles. That should have already been a thing. I don't know a lot of people using brass knuckles, but that's scary as fuck, though. I mean, if you get hit with brass knuckles, dude.
If you come across somebody who's carrying brass knuckles, like,
oh my god, right? Hey, Jessica, does this sound good now? Please tell me. So Jessica, she's our one person that watches on Facebook on YouTube. The Pope has been released from hospital. Did you see this? So this is you look at the Trump administration, and they have all these billionaires that don't give two fucks about you. Did you see what their guy in charge said about Social Security over the weekend? This one is going to floor you. Again, this dude, he was in the stock area, like he's a billionaire. This dude's made billions, so Trump put him in charge of commerce. He's the commerce secretary. Howard Lutnick, he's the commerce secretary. Here's what he had to say.
Let's say Social Security didn't send out their checks this month. My mother-in-law, who's 94, she wouldn't call and complain. She just wouldn't. She'd think something got messed up, and she'll get it next month.
Yeah.
A fraudster always makes the loudest noise, screaming, yelling, and complaining.
That's not true.
Stupid stupid motherfucker.
That is not true.
It's not true. It's someone that needs their money is loud.
People who need
rely
that.
This
on
is
the
the
money.
commerce secretary. That's the most insane
Because your
thing.
fucking mom won't call? Of course she won't call.
Because you're a billionaire.
You're a billionaire.
Insane. I heard that. It almost made my head explode. Anyway, so no big deal. And of course, Elon Musk has called Social Security the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time.
That's not how,
These billionaires don't.
He doesn't know how a Ponzi scheme works.
I know he doesn't.
He's literally the dumbest person I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
I did not know he was from Africa.
Yeah.
Like
the white part of Africa.
Yeah, like he needs to like get him on a plane.
Let's see what else. A fire broke out at Disney's Epcot Center on Saturday. It didn't end up being a big fire, but it was a fire, and it did scare some people. Here is some audio of that.
I turned around, and there were flames behind this, like, big black door thing. It was, like, 10 feet tall, so we could see them over the door. Black smoke was billowing, and it took a while for people to notice it. It was pretty scary because back by Ratatouille, you can't get out except for that one little path. So people kind of started freaking out and running and looking for their family, their strollers. So it was definitely crazy.
Wouldn't you think that was like a Disney effect? Like if you just saw smoke and you're like, oh, what show is that? What ride is that?
Man, these holograms are getting good. I feel heat.
Right? DoorDash is now launching a buy now, pay later option. Experts say it might not be a great sign for the economy. People can't even pay for fucking DoorDash. So,
well, how about you get your ass up and get your food yourself?
Right.
What if you don't have a car? We don't have a vehicle.
How were you getting food before DoorDash?
DoorDash been around for 5 years. I don't know.
Oh, 5 years, man. Oh, of course, it takes you plenty of time to forget where a grocery store is.
Earth's population might be way higher than we thought. UN says
Thanks, Nick Cannon.
They say Earth's population is about 8.2 billion, but a study in Finland found that might be undercounting rural populations by a lot. They give a number. There might be billions more people than the officials actually think. Billions more.
Wow.
Someone said I ordered Taco Bell on Saturday, and now I have 73 payments of 88 cents. Right? Let's see. What else? We're running out of time here. The chubby filter has disappeared on TikTok. It was like the hottest thing last week.
Did you know they have a Down syndrome filter?
No, they do not. You're lying.
I swear to...
Really?
Okay. All right. So, on my TikTok, and my this very voluptuous girl comes walking out of the locker room, right?
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, hold on, right? She looks gorgeous and then she pans up to her face. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, look at this woman!" And then they pan up, and she's got Down syndrome, right? And so people are like, "Oh my God, why are we ogling this girl?" Blah blah blah. And then come to find out, she's not even real. Like, she's AI generated. And so, but people were like, well, if she's AI generated, it's got to be fine then. And you're like, no, it's not. It just triggered something creepy in you. Like, and so there was this huge debate on whether or not they should be like looking at this girl or even like staying. It was crazy, and it's.
We've had this conversation before. It's like, what do you do? I mean, what if you're into AI children, but they're not real, but you're into children? Is that still? It's a slippery slope. I know.
It's just ick.
It is. Oh, it's
ick.
For sure ick. Kayak says virtual vacations are going to be a big thing by 2030. Shit, they're going to be a big thing in this house now. Man, by the way, someone said the France Pavilion, there was a refrigerator or cooler that caught on fire. It was extinguished immediately, but there was so much smoke.
Isn't that weird that a cooler catches on fire?
Right? So, yeah, they're saying virtual vacations by 2030 are going to be a big thing. Some moron is selling Garfield-themed T-shirts on Etsy that make light of 9/11. It's Garfield, but he's shaped like an airplane, and he's flying into two pans of lasagna standing on their edge, so they look like the Twin Towers. The caption says, "I'll take 911 orders of lasagna." What the fuck is going on? What is wrong with people? I know. What's this one? Let's see. A couple caught putting hair in their food to get it for free, according to a restaurant in Tennessee. They have the cameras, and you can see them putting the hair in the food to get the free food.
I had a lady do that.
What's that?
She put a roach in her food.
Where, when you were working at B-Dubs?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I tried to send it back. And I was like, I got 3 servers that saw you pull that shit out of your pocket, ma'am. Like, frankly, you should have just waited. It would have crawled out on its own.
So was it virtual vacations like in the movie Total Recall? I don't know.
You've never seen Total Recall?
No, I never have.
Blue skies on Mars.
Here's the fuck story of the day for you. Coming from Union County, North Carolina, a North Carolina mother says her middle school student was asked to pick cotton during a lesson about the Industrial Revolution this week. The mother, who asked to stay anonymous to protect her child's identity, said it made her student feel so uncomfortable that they had 2 other classmates even went to the principal's office. I was very scared because I didn't know how my children was feeling on the inside and how this would affect her long term. There were so many other examples of things you could have picked besides making kids pick cotton. Again, read the room.
That's the second time I've heard of a field trip from a school to a plantation.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
They actually put these kids out in the fields and gave them little bags.
Oh my God.
And told them to pick cotton, and then made them give the cotton back.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What else is going on? Okay, here's the dumbass of the day. Remember that hot girl mugshot on Friday we showed you? This hot girl from Georgia, she got arrested, and her mugshot was going around. She got her 15 minutes of fame. Well, she's now turned that into a half hour. She got arrested again yesterday, and yes, there's a new mugshot. If you're just catching up, 20-year-old Lily Stewart goes to the University of Georgia. She went viral last week thanks to the mugshot she took after she got arrested for speeding earlier this month. Cops threw her in jail after she got pulled over once and then again minutes later by the same cop for driving even faster than she was the first time. So TMC says she got arrested again early yesterday, but not for speeding this time. They charge her with loitering and obstructing an officer. Last we checked, they hadn't said exactly what she did, but it happened in Athens, Georgia, where the University of Georgia is. They booked her at 5:26 a.m., and she was released on $4,000 bond a few hours later. Her name...
What 20-year-old's got $4,000?
God, well, what do you mean? She calls home.
Dude,
Mommy
let
and Daddy.
me call home and tell my mom I have a $4,000 bond. She would be like, I will talk to you at the verdict.
So there you go. Hot mugshot girls back in the news again.
And did you look at the mugshot? Is it better?
No, it's not as good as the first one.
Okay.
It's not as good as the first one, but I was trying to find it. But she got some low grade crazy eyes in this one. Let me see if I can pull it up. I was trying to pull it up.
She must have been partying all night.
Oh yeah, look at her eyes. I mean, she's still cute, but look at her.
Oh wow.
That's definitely stab you in the crotch eyes.
Right?
While you're sleeping.
I mean, she's still beautiful, but man, she's got crazy eyes for days. All right, that is the dumbass of the day. That is the news. Oh, who's doing traffic and weather? The fuck? No one's here. All right, I guess I'll do traffic. Looking good out there, not too bad. Our good friends over at Taylor Automotive taking care of traffic for us. And then our weather is by, of course, our good friends over at Furniture Palace, the king of furniture, the sofa king. So if you go to Furniture Palace, you can get hooked up there. Again, traffic's looking good. I'm not sure about the weather. I'm checking that right now for you. Okay, settle down. High today is only going to be 44. It's 36 right now. God, all week, this spring break week for a lot of kids. My kids are on spring break. It's going to be only in the 40s till Thursday, then the 50, then 60s on Friday. And then for the weekend, it's going to be decent. 60, 66, 64. But for the next few days, just going to be in the 40s. All right, that is your traffic and weather. I am Andrew Z, your fabulous reporter. And if you have any, of course, information on anything going on the roadways, please just reach out to us, text me or whatever. All right, got to tell you, my friends over at State Line Sauce, the #1 hot sauce in all of Toledo. Doesn't matter if you put it on chicken, doesn't matter if you put it on fish, doesn't matter if you put it on steak, put it on ground beef, put it in your hamburger helper, make it delicious, put it in your spaghetti. You could take the tropical island and toss it in wings, and then cook them, and then at the end, put them in some more of the tropical island, and it's freaking fantastic. So check out State Line Sauce. Go to stateline.sauceco.com and get sauce.
Hey, it's Stephen B. Hardy from the Andrew Z and Demetrius in the Morning Show. Pumped to tell you about our newest sponsor at Holy Grail Wellness. Holy Grail is the newest and hottest name in the weight loss game, with all kinds of amazing options to choose from to get you a big head start on your weight loss journey. Stop in at 200 Airport Highway in Wasion, or call and ask for Kendra or Callie at 419-388-7760. Join me on my journey while starting yours today at Holy Grail Wellness.
We've all heard about it, the Japanese head spot, and it is currently available at Skinology. This ultimate scalp facial will dissolve your stress as they lavish your scalp. They include a scalp analysis, a detox treatment, a deep conditioning treatment, a hair mask, and a scalp massage. Spoil yourself with a rejuvenating treatment that will leave you feeling refreshed and renewed. After all, your scalp deserves some pampering too. To book your appointment, go to skinologyfacebar.com.
Got to tell you, my friends over at Regan Insurance. Regan Insurance, the place to go for all your insurance. Doesn't matter what you need. They've been serving the Toledo area since 1967, and there's such good people over there. So if you need some insurance done, you need to go to Regan Insurance today, and you get it by going to their website at reganins.com. Regan Insurance. Go tell them we sent you, and you are going to love your insurance opportunities there at Regan Insurance.
Bring it. Andrew Z and Demetrius in the morning.
Driven by the Taylor Automotive family of fine cars, Northwest Ohio's largest car dealership. Cadillac, Hyundai, Genesis, Kia vehicles, along with quality used cars from top import and domestic automakers. Stop into one of their dealerships. Test drive your new car, truck, van, or SUV today. I'm Andrew Z. Demetrius, Nicodemus, Kelly Lance, the Princess of Property from Howard Hanna Realty. Got some text messages in at 419-345-3375. Our good friend listener Angie said, still time to head down to Fort Myers for the spring break. 80s all week long.
Nice.
By the way, if you're
what's the temperature going to be?
Right? 80s in the air and 80s in the feet. 80s in the Crocs. Yeah. Angie said that she's selling her house down there. If you're looking for a place down in Fort Myers, it's right on the water where you could build a dock like on the water. She's selling it for like $45,000. It's beautiful. So if you want pictures,
did you say $45,000?
Yeah.
She's selling her house.
It's a mobile home, but yeah.
Oh.
But it's beautiful. I mean, it's 2 bedroom.
You can move any mobile home by the water.
no, this is permanent. It's permanent.
Oh,
it's got like.
Is it permanent?
Semi-permanent, I guess.
Tornadoes are like hold my beer.
So she's selling it for like $45,000. She was asking $80,000 for it, but she wants to get rid of it because the lot rent's $1,200 a month. So she's having to pay the lot rent while she's living in her other house. She's trying to get rid of it. So if you want a little place in Florida, $45,000, dude, right on the water, please sign me the F up.
It sounds too good to be true.
It's not. I'll give you Angie's number. She will tell you all about it. She loves it. All right. So, but anyway, they live in Florida. So they have another house, so they're trying to get rid of it. Another one says, hate the cold weather, but it's the best opportunity to get started on yard work. That is a good point as well. Get yard work done. All right, let's get into Steve Sleaze.
To play, just grab a handful of mud and sling it. It's Steve Sleaze on Andrew Z and Demetrius in the morning.
Hi, Steve is off today. Steve's off. K2's off. Steven's off. But we're still here grinding it out for you. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. 29th season finale of The Bachelor, 8 o'clock tonight. Are you ready, Kel?
I'm ready.
Have you been watching? Has it been a good season?
I have been watching it. A lot of people complain about this season, but I like it.
What are they complaining about?
They're just saying that it's not as good and that he's not as...
hot?
No, he's hot.
Is he?
Yeah, he's hot. There's no question about that. That he's not as engaged as he should be.
Isn't it crazy if you're hot in this world? Because you don't know anything about them when you first start. You'll sign up for women. It's so hard to find a good dude. But if you're hot in this world, you will find women that will take 6 weeks off from their lives and fly to L.A. for no money and just be on a show to date some dude with 30 other women.
Yeah,
it's what kind of world do we live in?
I don't know how they. I mean, for me,
it's crazy. Like, it's crazy to me.
There's not even a $1 million grand prize at the end. There's nothing.
And when you do it, you don't even know who the bachelor is going to be.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You just know he's going to be hot. That's all you know.
Yeah, it's just random dude.
Sign me up.
Good for you.
I know you're going to be hot. Just sign me up, and I'm gonna put my life on hold for 6 weeks and fly out to California so me and 29 other women can bang you. The fuck. Yeah. Snow White did win the box office this weekend, as Demetrius said, but it was a disappointing $43 million. So not a great weekend.
I'll be honest. I thought that the theater there was only like 3 sets of people when I went.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like at 1 o'clock though on a Friday.
Yeah. Most people had to work. Not Kelly though. Kelly can take off whenever she wants. She's Jonas Brothers, 20 years of the Jonas Brothers. Can you believe that? 20 years of the Jonas Brothers.
19 years too much.
I remember they just got hot when we started over at KISS, and we could do damn near anything make those parents do anything for Jonas Brothers tickets. It was crazy. Jonas Brothers, Jonas Brothers, WWE, and Kid Rock. If you had those tickets, man, people would do anything. Anyway, they're 20 years. They're marking it with a national tour that's going to be in Detroit and 2 other shows in Ohio, over at Comerica Park in August, and then Cleveland and Columbus. The tour kicks off August 10th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. 20 years of the Joe Bros. What else? Oh, George Foreman died over the weekend.
Yeah.
It was sad. 76 years old, no cause of
I
death.
flew my grill at half-mast.
I mean, now who's going to be Jake Paul's next opponent? I don't know. Foreman was a 2-time world champion, Olympic gold medalist, famously made a comeback in 1987 at the age of 38, and he may have been just as well known as the spokesman for the George Foreman Grill. He married 5 times, 12 children, 5 sons who were all named George, 7 daughters. One of them was named Georgetta. Mike Tyson tweeted that Foreman's, quote, contribution to boxing and beyond will never be forgotten.
Does anybody believe that was an actual Tyson tweet?
Well, no.
Like, he said contribution.
Oh,
like, we all know that's not Tyson's word.
Look what Tim from DHL. It's a Foreman grill in the shape of a casket. It's messed up,
That's
Tim.
poor taste.
Poor taste. Too soon.
Too soon.
As they say. So did you see this controversy with Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers?
No. What happened?
Are you interested? Or
Yeah,
are you
I am.
Feigning interest. Okay.
No.
Joe Gatto is being accused of sexual misconduct by 2 women. So this started, and we know it starts with one, and then the ones after. It's two ways, and we can have this honest. We're family. We can have this is the show where you can have difficult conversations. The first one comes out, and then the others come out because they were scared, because he's famous and powerful, or because they're looking for a payday. And both have been true. You can't be outraged for me to say that, because both have been true, probably an equal amount of times. We don't know. But anyway, this woman, she was 19. It happened back in 2023. She claims the incident occurred after Joe and his wife Bessie had reconciled following a separation. Joe denied the assault claim. I watched her video on TikTok. She's not... we can't say she's not believable, because he's a 40-year-old man and she was 19, and she was in his hotel room. That's his fault, right? Right. Because people are outraged. Some people are
Was
outraged
this after a
because
show?
we're blaming. Yeah, it was after a show.
After a stand-up show?
Mm-hmm. So what happened was...
I feel like that's bullshit.
Hold on. What happened was her sister, it's her and her sister and her mom. 3 of them are eating at a restaurant. Joe Gatto comes in the restaurant, and no one recognized him. So the 3 women were like, and her sister, not the girl that got allegedly sexually assaulted, but her sister was a huge, like, would watch the show incessantly. So she was also a fan, but her sister was a huge fan. So there's no one recognized him. The 3 of them, because I watched, this is what she says. I watched her video. The 3 of them go up to Joe, and take a picture, and are enamored by him and whatever. So then this girl messages him, like DMs him. And her sister had to go back to wherever she was visiting. So she's for like going to college or something back away. So she had to leave. Joe's like, well, I'm going to leave you 2 tickets at Will Call. Just come on down and give you some meet and greet passes as well. So she shows up. I think she said she showed up by herself because her sister couldn't go, and her friend was going to go but couldn't go. So she showed up by herself. She's in like the front row, and she's got like the whole row to herself. Like there's there's only like 2 other people in the whole row. And then she goes backstage after, meets him or whatever. She goes home, and either she messages him or he messages her, thanks, blah, blah, whatever. And he's like, hey, why don't you come to the hotel, my hotel, blah, blah, blah. She goes to the hotel room, and she says that he denies that it was a sexual assault. He said, quote, I have used poor judgment, and as a result have violated the trust of people I love most. Working on myself is an ongoing process, and I am now going to take some time away from the public eye to focus my energies where I need to. So as that woman comes forward, now a second woman came forward claiming that she worked for Joe for 2 years, and during that time he would inappropriately grab her, ask for back massages, ask her about her sex life. And there you go. So I mean, that's not really assault like the first one. But again, the girl went up to him. The girl showed up at the show. Then the girl showed up at his hotel.
Shows up alone.
Showed up alone at the show. Shows up at his hotel room. And she's 19. She's an adult.
Like, I get it, but it sounds like sour grapes to me. It sounds like you
know.
showed up
like
and you were expecting.
But are we victim shaming? Because that's what people are saying. Because it sounds like maybe she thought it was more because she's 19 and maybe she tried to message. She's like, "Girl, I'm out of that town." Or I'm speculating. I'm not saying that happened. But girl, I don't know who are you? Who is you? And she probably got pissed, and because she said in the video, I've messaged a ton of celebrities to tell them what happened, and no one did anything. And then I finally posted this TikTok, and now I'm getting traction because I want people to know what happened.
Like what other celebrities have you been messaging? Whose
know.
other numbers? Like, what are you doing? And
do you want to hear her or no? Is that enough? Do you want to hear what she sounds like?
I think I'm good.
Okay, because she doesn't come off likable in the video. She's not likable, but that shouldn't matter. That's not an excuse.
But
right.
My question is, why did you go back to his hotel room? It's the same question
you're 19
that I had.
And he's a celebrity. She said it's the first celebrity she ever met.
Really? Then how'd she message all these other celebrities?
That was afterwards. That was after.
You sound to me.
You got to be careful. It's 2025.
Look, it is, and as somebody who does stand up, and who has seen
a groupie
or two, right?
Yeah.
Like you show up at the hotel. You can't tell me you just what you think Joe was going to do? What did you think was going to? It's this same argument like I had when Mike Tyson went through all of his shit, right? And this woman shows up at his hotel room at 4:30 in the morning, and she's like, "This is the." I'm like, he's Mike Tyson. You're not having a spelling bee with this dude at 4:30. You know what the fuck he wants. But you know what the fuck. Like, don't sit there and be like shocked because you weren't knitting with Mike Tyson, or you show up at somebody's hotel room after shows are over.
But then it comes to, if you're in someone's hotel room, no matter who you are, you're still allowed to say no. Just because you go to the hotel room.
Absolutely.
See,
you have at any moment you can say no.
Mm-hmm.
But I say this: you don't put yourself in situations like that. Like,
but you're 19. You don't know.
I'm not. Stop.
Know.
She's 19.
You don't know.
Stop.
You don't know. It's hard. I know it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I don't disagree with any. I don't disagree with any of your mms.
I'm just look. Your mom knew about the event,
right?
She's
probably like, "Oh, girl, you're so lucky. If I was younger,
right? Like, so why not take your mom? Your mom would love to go, right? Like, you got 2 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. Anyway, I got too many questions, and Joe needs to. Like, first of all, nowadays you can't do that shit anymore. Comedy, you just got to tell your jokes and go home.
Yeah.
You can't be partying like this.
No, not like the olden days. Not like the olden days. You were wiling out. Demetrius was wiling out back in the day.
I know. I'm still suing Nick Cannon for stealing my lifestyle.
All right, I got some text message in 419-345-3375. If Joe was a good-looking guy, this wouldn't be a problem.
It's
come
the
on.
truth.
Come on. It says, why are you questioning the victim? Why is it always victim blaming? It always goes this way. Next thing you'll blame her for what she was wearing. This is why women don't report. I know. I'm with you. I prefaced it with, I understand that. It's a difficult I thought you and I can have difficult conversations that other people can't have in the wild. And I know she was 19. He should have known better, I guess.
But he's 40. And you get it. I like 40 years old and 19's all interested.
You're making it okay.
I'm not making it okay.
He's not thinking with the right head.
Yeah,
you're right. I know. Oh, crazy. Anyway, he left Impractical Jokers in 2022 to work on some undisclosed issues in his personal life. That's also when he separated from Bessie. They got back together in 23.
Cheating on her.
Yeah, they got back together in 23, and then that's when this girl and him allegedly hooked up. So, it's official. Tiger Woods is dating Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-wife. Tiger Woods has...
Oh, good for you, Tiger. Give it all to her. All of it.
All of us.
All of it.
Tiger Woods confirms his relationship with Vanessa Trump. I've never even heard of her. Vanessa Trump in a social media post. I guess Don Jr.'s ex. And then Tiger. Remember Tiger played... have less respect for Tiger. He was playing woods with Trump, or playing golf with Trump. I'm like, oh, come on. I in my head I was like, I expect this from you, fucking Tiger. I expect this from you. And once your true self came out, I expect this from you. But the way I used to know you, Taylor Swift returned from a social media hiatus to show how good the new Selena Gomez Benny Blanco album is. This is so interesting to me. I went down the rabbit hole of Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez. First of all, I love both of them. I love the fact that he is goofy as fuck, and he is able to get Selena Gomez. But he's a music producer, one of the greatest music producers of our time. And Selena Gomez is a great singer, and they did this whole thing in their house, the whole album together, and now they're out promoting it and being on Hot Ones and being cute, going to little record stores. And I follow, they have his Instagram, her Instagram, and then they have the two of them together, and it's the cutest little thing I've ever seen.
I can't wait for it to explode.
Oh, I know, that's the bad thing. Like, they were on Instagram this weekend. Selena took Benny to get his eyebrows plucked because he's a dude. He had a full unibrow. she's like, baby, I know that's you. I know you crazy and you whatever, but come on, seriously, in the middle, we got to plucky. Say plucky this weekend.
That's not cool.
You know what else I read? So I'm going down the rabbit hole that Selena Gomez was texted by Justin Bieber 23 times.
I saw this.
23 times on his wedding day.
I saw
on
this.
his wedding day.
Crazy.
Tell me not to do it. Please,
right?
All you
give
have
me
to
the
do
reason.
is just give me a reason.
Oh.
Tell me there's still hope for us.
Oh, poor Haley Bieber.
And he's like, we got 5 minutes. He's about to say, do you?
Can you imagine, though, being Haley Bieber and finding that out? Oh, my God. And how did they find it out? And I think I even saw that they showed the text messages, but I don't know how that would have happened.
And
So
that's crazy because, to her, that happened yesterday. It's not, oh, my God, I had time to get over it because I found out about it on our wedding day.
Oof.
It is. I found out about it recently, and this shit is fresh. You might as well have cheated on me.
I don't know. I feel bad, and I feel bad for Justin. And I told you, Demetrius is going to feel bad, I think, after I tell you this next one.
Nope.
Is Justin over the weekend? He posted. He said, "quote his latest Instagram post, bearing his soul." He said, "I got anger issues too, but I want to grow and react so much, and not react so much. Shaking my head." Dude is crying out, man. Justin is in mental crisis, and I like the kid. I always have liked the kid. I think the business has chewed him up and spit him out like they've done Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and all of them. And I feel bad for him, but he's going through mental stuff. Demetrius, you should understand that.
I do understand mental stuff.
Okay,
but
well,
I
be
am
nice.
not going to sit there and feel bad for a guy who takes a nap in a Bentley and tells me that he wakes up every day thinking he doesn't deserve it. You know what? If you don't, give it to somebody else.
Shut up. Who's going to do that?
I know, right? That'd be crazy.
We told you about In Vogue singer Dawn Robinson living in her car a couple weeks ago. Well, it turns out now she's clarifying a little bit. She has chosen the car life. She said, "I want to make it clear I'm not homeless," she said in a statement. "I am temporarily choosing car life as part of my journey of healing and self-discovery." The 58-year-old vocalist, known for being an original member of In Vogue, reminded people that she enjoyed car life and doesn't want fans donating to unauthorized fundraising campaigns made on her behalf, like Cash App and GoFundMe. Don't do that.
But you put it out there like you were homeless.
You did, kind of.
You put it out there like you were struggling. You didn't tell people, "Hey, I got a lot
going on
money
journey
in the bank. I'm just living in my car because I'm weird like that."
Right. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez will wed in Italy this summer, according to a report. They've had a 2-year engagement, and the wedding invites are apparently started to go out. So there you go, Jeff Bezos getting married. File this one under N for no duh. Kendra Wilkinson still has sex problems thanks to her teenage relationship with Hugh Hefner, who was 60 years older than her. She was 19. He's 79. Oh, Kendra. Denzel Washington doesn't consider himself a Hollywood actor because that's not how he sees himself. He says, quote, "What's the definition of a Hollywood actor? Myself, I'm from Mount Vernon, so I'm a Mount Vernon actor. I don't know what Hollywood means." Denzel considers himself, quote, "a stage actor who's done film. It's not the other way around. I did stage first. I learned how to act on stage, not in film." Denzel is in Broadway right now doing Othello with Jake Gyllenhaal. Ooh. The play recently broke a record for single-week box office gross. Good for them. Elton John's advice to up-and-coming musicians: skip American Idol, play the pubs. In other words, don't do those talent competitions. He said, "The experience stood me in great stead for when I became Elton John because I had backbone, and backbone is so important." He's talking about playing the pubs. Because the worst thing that can happen to you is the industry are things like X Factor and instant fame on television. When you have no experience of playing live, you get put on stage, you go and you can't do it. The worst thing, American Idol, just the worst. Take risks and go play a pub instead. Amy Schumer had a bad experience with Wegovy a while back, but she's back on Monjourno, and so far it's good. Jake Gyllenhaal proposed to his girlfriend. Let's see, what else? Ivanka Trump is now training with Giselle's jiu-jitsu instructor. Billy Ray Cyrus released new music, and people are saying it's trash. I want to let you guys be the judge. Here's the new Billy Ray Cyrus song. Here we go.
If you're lost, just ask. You know the future ain't the past. Buckle up and hit the gas. Won't get there looking back. So if you're lost, just ask.
What happened to his voice? Why? Remember he was on stage a couple weeks ago doing that voice. What is that?
I don't know.
I thought he was just a horse.
The tempo is terrible, and I mean, the slowness. I don't know.
Just ask, Kelly.
If you're lost, just ask.
If you want to ride, just ask.
You know the future ain't the past. Buckle up and hit the gas. Won't get there looking back. So if you're lost, just ask.
What was it? This could be the next Applebee's jingle. You want baby back ribs? Just ask. All right, that is Steve's Sleaze for today. All right, things looking good on the roadways. Nothing going on out there. It's going to be cold all for the next 3 or 4 days. Cold. Going to be in the 40s today, 47 tomorrow, 44 on Wednesday. Finally in the 50s on Thursday. The weekend going to be up in the 60s. So a few more days of this type of weather, and then should get a little nicer. Traffic and weather brought to you by Taylor Automotive Family, the largest car dealership with over 1,500 cars ready to buy today. You get no better choice than you do at Taylor Automotive. And also, looking for choice in furniture, Furniture Palace is the place to go. Go see the Sofa King if you woke up sore and want to do something else. I mean, tell you what, his furniture is so fucking comfortable. You're gonna love it. So go see the Sofa King at Furniture Palace. Why are you shaking your head, Demetrius? I don't understand.
I think you do.
That is traffic. Traffic and weather right now. All right, I got to tell you, my friends over at State Line Sauce, the #1 hot sauce in all of Toledo. Doesn't matter what you want to put it on. Fish, chicken, steak. You're going to love it. Ground beef, anywhere. And there's so many amazing flavors to choose from, starting at just $9.99. Get your bottle today. Get a couple bottles. They'll give you a little deal if you get a couple bottles. All you got to do is go to StatelineSauceCO.com, StatelineSauceCO.com, and get sauced.
Hey, it's Stephen B. Hardy from the Andrew Z. and Demetrius in the Morning Show. Pumped to tell you about our newest sponsor at Holy Grail Wellness. Holy Grail is the newest and hottest name in the weight loss game, with all kinds of amazing options to choose from to get you a big head start on your weight loss journey. Stop in at 200 Airport Highway in Wasion, or call and ask for Kendra or Callie at 419-388-7760. Join me on my journey while starting yours today at Holy Grail Wellness.
We've all heard about it, the Japanese head spot, and it is currently available at Skinology. This ultimate scalp facial will dissolve your stress as they lavish your scalp. They include a scalp analysis, a detox treatment, a deep conditioning treatment, a hair mask, and a scalp massage. Spoil yourself with a rejuvenating treatment that will leave you feeling refreshed and renewed. After all, your scalp deserves some pampering too. To book your appointment, go to skinologyfacebar.com.
Gotta tell my friends over at Regan Insurance, protecting families since 1967. Started as family-owned independent insurance company in Toledo. They're proud to protect individuals, families, and businesses. If you want to get insurance checkup, what you should, there's no cost to it. If they can save you money, you're going to switch, and if it doesn't, then stay where you're at. I mean, there's really no downside to getting with them and seeing if they can save you money in your insurance. Go to Regan, REGANINS, ReganInsurance.com, Regan, REGANINS.com. Regan Insurance.
Bring it. Andrew Z and Demetrius in the morning.
Driven by the Taylor Automotive family of fine cars, Northwest Ohio's largest car dealership, Cadillac, Hyundai, Genesis, Kia vehicles, along with quality used cars from top foreign and domestic automakers. Stop by your local dealership, test drive your new car, truck, van, or SUV today. Also brought to you by Skinology, Furniture Palace, Regan Insurance, Holy Grail Wellness, and State Line Sauce Company. I'm Andrew Z, Demetrius, Nicodemus, Kelly Latz, the princess of property from Howard Hanna Realty. And we got a special guest in studio. Jessica's here from the podcast Two Girls and a Microphone. And Jessica's been the topic of conversation here on the show a couple times in the last couple of weeks, a very passionate conversation. And I'm going to tell you the story about Jessica, and then she can tell me where I'm wrong, because she let me know I'm wrong about some stuff. Jessica, first of all, good morning. Good morning. Oh, let me turn your mic on, and you won't put your headphones on. All right. Okay, so so Jessica married almost 20 years. 4 kids, right? Yes. Finds out the husband is cheating. So she kicks his ass out. She's like, "You got to go, man. I mean, this cheating stuff's not for the birds. You got to go." No. And then she's like, "Okay, he's learned his lesson, I think. Husband, you can come back." He's like, "Fuck that, I ain't coming back. I'm living my best life." Yeah. And so Demetrius and I have had this in-depth conversation about Jessica. So I'm like, well, and then Jessica let me know I got some things wrong. So I thought, let's bring Jessica in. She can clear up what I got wrong. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
All right. What did I get wrong?
Okay, so not married for 20 years.
How long?
Together for 17.
Okay.
Married for almost 5 now.
Oh, okay. 17.
Yep.
Together. Okay. All
4
right.
kids.
And how old are your children?
I have an 11, 9, 5, and 4.
All right. And what else did I get wrong?
I did kick him out, and he has cheated a few times. And he has, I guess, been living his best life for a minute.
Like, what's he been doing that says that he's liking what he's doing? Like, how is he even the same person that you remember? Like, is he changed?
So I think he's always been the same person. There's always been the red flags, but when you're in love with someone, you kind of love them through it. No one's perfect, so you try to make it work. He moved to Monroe, so he's not here anymore. I think it was just he left and started building his own life. And I can't blame him. I guess if I went from having 4 kids and a wife who was unhappy for a long time because she was alone and depressed, and my body went through all these changes, I had 4 kids in 6.5 years. And unless you've had a child and know the hormonal changes and all the different things that you go through, it's just insane. But yeah, 4 kids, then you're living with your coworker, you're going to the bar, you're hanging out with your friends. I can't blame him. I feel like I'd probably live my best life too.
Right. So here's the other thing that Demetrius and I had this debate about when we were with you is, I tell people after 2 kids that I think you need to reevaluate your relationship, because it's hard to date when you have 3 and 4, because you have to. I mean, it takes a lot for a man that's not, to take 4 kids. And you agreed with that, Jess, right? I was like, man, you thought about this. It's gone through your mind.
Yeah, but every time that I had a child with my husband, never once in my mind did I say, oh man, I better slow down, because if we ever divorce, I'm not going to be a very,
marketable,
attractive.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Demetrius said Demetrius says the same thing. Like, you don't think about that, but I'm that's why I'm saying, women, you should think about that, because if you want to still be able to have find a quality mate, and people always say in Toledo, it's hard as hell to find a good dude. And actually, dudes say it's hard to find a good woman. But 99% of people that we talk to all say that. So you can't tell me, common sense can tell you, if you got 4 kids, it's going to make it harder.
Yeah, but I don't agree with you on that women should think about that. Because if a woman is thinking about, oh, I'm having another child with this man and I need to think about when I'm divorced or when I'm separated, then are you really even in love with that person?
But that's
well
no. That's
young lady.
She put words in my mouth though, because I said you should reevaluate and make sure that your relationship is strong. Like, make sure you have a good relationship before you start having more kids. That's what I said. It's a good opportunity to reflect back and be like, all right, are there red flags or are we good? Are we good to go forward?
What about those other 2
3, 4, and
opportunities
5?
you had before? Like, you should have, like, that makes no sense.
What part?
Reevaluate after 2 kids. It should be before the first kid, before the second kid.
I agree.
But this is my thing. And once again, and I think Jessica said it the best. If you are looking at it and you go like this, well, if this dude leaves me, then I'm stuck with these kids, then you shouldn't be having kids with this guy anyway.
I agree.
Period.
It should be done at 1 kid. I am agreeing with you. But I'm saying for sure, I think an average person can deal with 2 kids. 4 is out of the realm of possibility for most guys. And you're really limiting your pool if you're gonna say, hey, you're taking me, oh yeah, and I got 4 kids coming with me too. I mean, it just makes it harder.
Well, I mean, this is fairly new, correct? I mean, I don't think she's thinking about being marketable to date. At least if I was you, I would not be thinking that.
I've been with someone since I was 14 years old. I mean, I am living my best life in a sense too, just finding, who I am. Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, relearning
sure.
myself pre-kids and having a good time when I do have that little bit of a break. And I just want to interject here and say that I have talked to a few different men, and it has never been an issue for any one of them that I've talked to that I've had 4 kids.
Because it says you like 6. You got 4 things that answer to.
But yeah, exactly.
I clearly do have a hobby. I'm good at something, right?
I don't want to hear you don't do that. I see 4 things running around to say you do.
But see, I agree. But then on the other side, because a guy's, you have to make sure because a guy's talking to you, it's not because he wants sex, because he knows you do it because you got 4, or that he really might think of that, hey, do I want to take in 4 kids into my life for a long term? I mean, that's hard too, is for someone like you to determine which, because guys are sneaky. Guys will lie and guys will say whatever until they get what they want.
Oh, for sure. I mean, look at my own husband, the father of the 4 children that I have.
Right? Oh my God.
So I think that you agree with Demetrius. Demetrius has said that if you're okay with 1 child, it does not matter how many. Like if you start dating someone, if you're okay that they have a child, it doesn't matter how many.
So I agree and I disagree with that a little bit, because if I'm single, even being a female, and I see that another man has 4 children, and I'm being, down to earth and thinking about everything, you got to look at the financial aspect.
Of course.
1 kid versus 4 kids. I mean, you can make it work, but but are we financially stable enough? Do we have the room for all these kids? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love some controlled chaos. I love these kids. But do I want to take on someone else's 4 kids? And I guess if I love that person, for sure.
Right.
I mean, look at the Brady Bunch. Didn't the Brady Bunch have 8 kids?
Girl, you know that is not real.
I know.
Did you just use the Brady Bunch as an example?
I mean, but hey, they lived their best life for a while. Everyone has struggles.
For a half hour every Saturday.
You got to watch this. So I was watching On Patrol Live this weekend, and did you see the shirt that came up on the TV? I had to take a picture of it to show Demetrius. Look, it says "Proud Dad of a Few Dumbass Kids." It's a genius.
It's great.
Genius shirt. But yes, I don't think we're that. That's why you weren't listening. I don't think, Demetrius. We aren't that far off. I'm just saying people can tolerate 1 or 2 kids. It's when you get into the 4 range, it's harder. And she even said, as a woman, if it was on the other foot, a dude comes in with 4 kids, it's a lot harder to make a commit, think about making a commit with that person. And because the dating pool is so tight, right? Anyway, here in town, that it's just, I said, hey man, you need to evaluate. Okay, how about this? You need to evaluate before you start having kids. Are you going to stay together? Because you are going to make yourself, I'm not going to say undateable, harder to date. Go ahead,
do
Jessica.
that. You can't evaluate, are you going to stay together? I mean, when you're in love with somebody, I mean, for sure, I seen red flags. And okay, so I forgave for a couple of times. I tried forgiveness, but I gave it my all.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you don't sit back and have a conversation, evaluate, are we going to stay together? I don't think so.
But I know you don't. But most people don't. But that's what gets them in the situation. I think they should, is what I'm saying. You need to self-reflect and be like, hey, those red flags that I know are there, how bad are they? You know, how bad? Like,
clearly not bad enough for me to have 2 kids with him, but that third.
You're stuck on the 2 kids. I'm talking about in general. Before you start having kids, but especially after 2, because I think anyone can take 1 or 2, but they're not taking 4 or 5. It's just,
life
they're just
changes so fast. People change so much, and you just being in the situation that I'm in, and as long as I've been with my ex. You just don't know. I mean, this is a here today, gone tomorrow world, and you either love with all you got and try your hardest, or.
But do you think the romantic thing though it clouds judgment of actually glossing over those red flags? Because you're like, yeah, red flags, but you know what? I love this guy so, and I got to make this work. Don't you think that maybe puts you in a bad position because you want to stay together, or because the romantic stuff, or whatever it is?
So I think for me, when I was with him, the good was so good, you know, and then the bad, when it was bad, it was really bad. I mean, that's a lot of personality like traits with him and stuff like that, and I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm the most perfect person either. I've had flaws. I was depressed. I shut down, you know.
And I also think, like, you were together, you said 14 years?
17.
Yes. 17. Since we were 14 years old.
When you are a completely different person now, you know, and so is he. So like you have given, you know, all this time, and of course you both grown, and sometimes you grow apart, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I also feel.
I'm sorry, Jessica.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt you. Actually, I guess I do.
Go right on ahead.
But the 17 years that you guys were together, and then you said 5 married. So does that mean you were together 12 and then 5, or were you together 17 and then married for 5?
No, we were together 12, and then
okay.
This July will be 5 years married.
All right. So my question is, in that 12 years that you guys were together, was he cheating on you?
So he cheated when I was like 17 years old in high school, but then I don't know, we're in high school, you don't know if you're going to be together forever. Yeah. That's kind of like, well, and then after we had our second kid, he cheated on me with my childhood best friend.
After your second kid?
Wow.
I mean, there's a little bit more to the story that I kind of don't want to go into.
So was that the only time that he cheated on you in
she said
besides
a few times.
this other time?
As an adult, yeah. And then I think too
you have to put it in categories.
Well, so that was okay. So that was the one instance, and then there was a second one, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Like recently?
Yeah.
One in high school, then one after her second
child and then another one.
Yeah.
So 3.
3 or at least 3.
And then the
what are
third
you doing?
time.
Wait, because she said it several times, right?
No.
Those 3 times.
So you know 3 for sure. Do you think there were more?
No.
I mean, think it's just
there was definitely like we're petty, we're teenagers, we're gonna make each other jealous with people, but no, I can only count on 3. Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Dee.
Okay, so 2 instances before. All right, 2 instances before you got married. No,
one.
One before we were married. When
one
we
after
were engaged.
2 kids, and one after 4 kids.
one after 4 kids. Yep.
Okay, so it seems like right now, don't have any more kids. You good?
Oh, dude,
like, you got one more kid to have because he cheats every other.
Yeah.
So if you keep it at 5, then he's just at a holding pattern, and he don't know what the fuck to do with himself.
Let me tell you what, we fixed the problem. So obviously we're good at something,
right?
So we made sure to get him a vasectomy, or else I'd have 2 more kids right now.
Right, because this guy is just.
But now, Jessica, so off the air, we were having a conversation. And I think either you said, or I can't remember, you or Anna, someone said that, oh, he's asked me to, or I've asked him to come back many times. He's no, I'm not coming back. Would you still take him back today if he called you and said, "Girl, I know, I screwed up 3 times, and this single life ain't for me. I want to come home this weekend. I'm packing my stuff up and coming home." You know damn well you would take him.
Okay, so 500 times is being a little bit over exaggerating.
Okay.
And
he likes that. He loves that.
Who does?
Andrew loves that. So you've asked this man to come home 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
And he has said no 999,999 times, and you were waiting on this other text.
Go ahead, Jess.
So when I found out about the 3rd time, and the 3rd time he's like, "Oh well, I didn't sleep with her," and blah blah blah, and I'm like,
"We were fucking. Nobody slept."
No, so how he cheated on me the 3rd time was so similar to how he cheated on me like the 2nd time or whatever. And he claims that they never slept together, and I was like, listen, it's not even just about sleeping with somebody. Let's say you didn't sleep with her, and I don't even know if I really believe that.
Right.
Your intentions were there.
Right.
You're sending her photos, you're building a relationship. She was a coworker at work, and she's 13 years younger than us. She's 19. I was like, come on, man.
Here's the thing.
Did she call about Joe Gatto?
Here's the thing is that a guy and a woman think about cheating so differently, because a guy would be like, "I didn't have sex with her." Okay, but you did all this other stuff. Well, I didn't have sex. It's like that's the demarcation line for where a woman is. It doesn't matter. You intended to, or you had text messages, or you had pictures, or you had phone calls, or whatever. But I didn't have sex with him. But that's a guy's.
Well, and then the gaslighting and the manipulation. Like, I had his coworker covering up for him. He was lying to me. Then he told his wife to lie to me. And finally, like, in my heart, I knew what was going on. Like, his behavior. I told him at the beginning of like summer 23. I was like, you're acting a lot like you did when you cheated on me a few years ago. And he's like, "Oh, I am," and I'm like, "Yeah, you are. I know something's going on."
If he makes you crazy, like, "Oh yeah, I am. Okay, sure. Yep, I'm acting the same. Yep, I'm sleeping with somebody. Okay, is that what you want? Like, is it like gaslighting you like that?"
Well, so like the first time he had cheated on me with my friend, like he took her up to dinner in Ann Arbor, went to a concert. Then this time he was like, he came home, he's like, "I made a decision. I'm buying concert tickets for me and my buddy to go to a concert." Well, that buddy was actually the girl, and we were going to go as a group, because he's a carpenter. So he's like, me and him and some electricians are going to go to this concert. And he's like, "Oh, but I spent $300 because his card was declined, and he's going to buy me some cowboy boots and a belt to make up for it." And I'm like, what? Why would another man be buying another man?
The over-explaining of a dude is the biggest tell.
That's what gets you in trouble. Too much information is okay.
But in your head, you're like, you're like, this
but
makes
in my
sense.
head, I'm like, I know something's off.
Yeah.
This
But
does not make my mom, his mother. I mean, my friends are
women
like,
know-
"Are you really
but-
believing this?" And I'm like, "Yes, because I love him and I want this to work." And
Ooh, but dudes are in their head. They're like, "This is the perfect. This makes sense."
And
girls are like, "It's bullshit."
So as like, I think the big separation between men and women when it comes to, like, at least in their minds about fidelity, right, is like men look at like the physical action, right? Because we're not really like, the only person I'm really sharing shit with is you, right? Anybody else is just a physical object. And so when you say, but the intent was for me to sleep with her. I like, banging was, and like, because I'm physical, right? But I'm not sharing my life with her.
But he was, though.
Was he?
And that's the difference of my husband, I feel like, to some men. And even my best friend, she's like, his name is Shay. She's like, Shay's the kind of guy who's not going to go to a bar and have a one-night stand with someone. I mean, I don't know if he would now, but when we were together,
he's having an affair.
Yeah, he's like if he was to like go to a bar and have a one-night stand, he'd probably bring the girl a bouquet of flowers first, and I don't know if that's
dangerous kind.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because we've been together for so long and it's just curiosity. I mean, he's, other than the way he's treated me, I know he has a good heart. He has good intentions. He's got some narcissistic tendencies, but I feel like he just
Thank God
wants
you
the
said
attention.
tendencies.
The problem is with guys is guys are very what do I call it? They're narcissistic is a word, but it's
that's overused too.
Yeah, it is a word.
I feel like that's so overused. That's why I don't want to say like he is.
Right.
You know,
but selfish. I'm just say I can't think of another word right now. But the guys are just selfish because in the end they're gonna pick their dicks over their whole families, and they will do that to where. I mean, it's just true.
And this is just my observation from what you've said so far, Jessica, is that you guys have been together since you were 14, right?
Yeah.
And so the only way he knows how to navigate like through with other women is to create another relationship, because that's all he's done in his life.
Yeah.
It's been in relationships. He's never been on a date and just had sex. Like, he only knows relationship shit.
Yeah.
And so when he gets into things, he gets into another relationship.
Yeah,
because
like a little crash kind of relationship.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I do have some text messages, 419-345-3375. Jessica's here. Kicked her husband out for cheating. He's addicted to newness, someone said. New, like a lot of us are. A lot of people like the new feeling of a new relationship. I mean,
yes.
Someone else said
you guys are crazy because new relationships are bad.
But then also like
right?
still okay, you're addicted to the newness. You get this new high. You get this like honeymoon feeling.
Yeah.
But then you come back down to earth, and you're like, oh wait, I'm kind of imploding my life. And this is really who I want to be with, and this is my family, and I don't want to lose this. And then. But then,
so the crazy thing is he's not with the girl that he cheated with you on, but he doesn't want to come back home. Like, what's he say?
Well, I mean, we've been together for so long. I kind of feel like he's having an identity crisis. Kind of deciding who he wants to be. So I was a stay-at-home mom for 8.5 years. So he ended up going to Detroit to work on the Gordie Howe Bridge, the new one to Canada, United States. And so he did that back in I think it was 20 or 21. And when he went up there, he's meeting new people, kind of like building his own little life. I was home 100 hours a week by myself because he was clocking in and out 85 hours a week. And so
plus the drive.
Plus the drive. So 100 hours a week. I feel like he started, going to the bar with some friends on lunch.
I kind of like this.
Yeah, yeah. And so he was just kind of building his own life at that point. And it almost felt like starting over while I'm at home trying to keep together what we had started to build, and
So when you kicked him out, did you just kick him out, or did you kick him out and say, look, I really need you to think about what you're doing, what decisions you're making, and whether or not this family is something? Because it sounds like you just kicked him out and left him to his own devices without any kind of direction, and he found his own direction.
Yeah, well, so what had happened was I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be put through this again. Actually, that's a lie. When I found out about the girl, I tried to forgive him again. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get through this. But then I started going through his backup photos, his Google backup photos and Verizon backup, and I started to see all of the pictures and started to ask more questions, and just it's like that trickle truth. You start to find out a little bit more, and I was like, you know what? Dude, I can't do this anymore. You've got to go. This is over.
Well, and it's interesting too for a guy, because I've been through this, and I'm on the other I'm getting PTSD as you're saying this, because what happens is you guys agree okay, well, we're gonna try to make this work. I'm sorry, blah blah blah. Okay, I'm gonna let you stay, blah blah blah. And then you start finding other shit out, and you start asking me, dude, we settled this already. We already went through this, but why do you keep bringing it up? And you're like, well, I keep finding new shit.
Yeah.
But it's from the same situation.
Exactly.
Right. And that's my bitch. That is my bitch. It's you've already sentenced me.
Yes.
But yet you're already going to the court with new evidence.
Bro.
This trial is over.
I'm living this life. I lived this life. It's double jeopardy.
It's not funny, Jessica.
No.
I'm sorry.
And you guys are right. In a sense, if I said I'm going to forgive you, then in a perfect world, I should be forgiven and moving on. But do you know what it's like to be triggered all over again,
Yeah.
finding out new
Yes.
stuff?
Well,
Unless
like-
you've been
yes.
there, you don't know.
Like for instance, like if you're like, okay, we're forgiven or whatever, and then you find out he went away for some weekend. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that you find out, you're like, you want to know what? All right, motherfucker, I thought you were here. What is going on? Like, where were you really? And you find out, so you want to know the answer. On the other
Yeah.
side, he's
But
like,
you know
he's
the
like, I don't
answer.
want to know the. He's like, I don't want to talk about it.
But you know the answer.
I know.
The
but
question is,
you
you
gotta
just
hear
want to
it.
hear it from his voice.
Absolutely.
And it's a question of breaking somebody. It is.
Oh,
Stop.
Wham,
It is.
wham.
It's-
He
see-
shouldn't have done it.
See, bitch.
You can't.
Bitch.
You can't tell people how they have to forgive.
I'm not.
He's the one that did it. She did. She's the victim.
But-
She didn't do anything wrong.
but
He
let-
can't tell him how she's supposed to react.
But once again, if you know it happened, right, and you're going to say, I'm going to forgive him, I'm going to move on past this, then we can't go back to that well and start pulling out new buckets of water.
In a perfect world,
In a
yeah.
perfect- I was just gonna say, in
Yeah.
a perfect world.
But when you're finding things out on a daily,
Because you're looking.
Well,
not necessarily. I mean, yeah.
I'm in his Google pictures.
You're in his Google pictures. You're
Well,
in his
okay.
Verizon backup.
Okay, but
Tell
the
me you're
reason-
not digging.
Well,
Tell me you're not Indiana Jones without telling me you're Indiana Jones.
I mean, you're right. I can't lie. But it took other things to lead up to that, you know.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't have to apologize for that either. I mean,
I wasn't going out of my way like I'm going to forgive him and then I'm going to go dig up dirt. It's
Right.
another situation that, oh, I seen this and this doesn't make sense, and then you kind of just
or a memory will pop up in Facebook. You'll be like, oh, where was this mother? This motherfucker. Man, I get it. Someone said he's a carpenter, so he is good with wood. Correct?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. we were good at something.
A dude with shitty sex skills. She ain't putting up with this.
No.
Oh, please, no.
No.
Because listen,
He had a
since-
hammer.
Because since I've obviously been with other people since we separated, and I have not found anything that compares, and I am literally petrified of going the rest of my life
Without that good dick.
without, yeah.
Dude, it's so refreshing for you to be so open and honest about it. It's so funny.
I am an open book, you
Yeah,
guys.
I really hope those dudes you were with aren't listening.
I mean, they weren't. Okay, sorry. I mean, not everyone was terrible. It's just not as good.
It's not as good.
That's not what a dude was. Like,
Hey, look, you're not terrible.
Yeah, like honestly, do you know how fortunate you are that you stumble across good dick at 14? Like,
Oh, but wait a second.
Most people search their whole
no
life.
life. You locked it down.
I waited a year and a half because I was a kid and I was so nervous of getting pregnant.
Right.
I feel like as a child, they're like, if you get pregnant, you're gonna die and you're gonna
Right.
ruin your life. And so I was like, I can't do this right away. I need to be sure that I want to be with you. And
Right.
How'd that work out?
yeah, really good. I mean,
I mean, you're telling your story in the living room in Perrysburg.
Shut up. Well, it's fascinating, and I appreciate you telling the story. And anything that we're missing now that
What's the situation look like now?
yeah.
so he's still up in Monroe, and I mean, I don't think anytime soon or at all that we'll get back together.
See, I don't think it, but it's that it's like if he said, we never answered the question. If he said,
Okay.
I'm coming home this weekend,
That's-
baby, we're gonna work on this. I love you. I've made a mistake. Blah blah. You would take his ass back
But
in a
that's
minute.
such a layered question because
Why?
Because I know right now he's
Mm-hmm.
not the person that I married. And I would, if he was to be like, I seriously want to come home, I feel like there would be a lot of conditions.
Yeah.
And it's not fair for either of us to live with those conditions. And I would have to see like such undeniable proof that this man wants to change. And I know right now in this moment,
He's not there. He's not there.
And in this moment right now too, I'm enjoying myself so much that
Clearly not as much.
I mean, just in that
Just
aspect,
saying,
but
that
I know.
I mean, I might not be
But
enjoying it with
there's
other
hope.
people, but
There's
I can,
hope.
but I can do it myself pretty good, so we're good.
Oh my god! All right.
So I mean, I'm enjoying myself, and
Yeah.
so if he was to be like, I want to come back, it would be.
How many times do we see? And actually, we have one living in this studio. How many times have we seen you're together, and then you break up, and then you travel the world and be like, man, I think it was better at home, and you get right back together. I mean, that happens. It happens a lot, right, Kel? You did it.
It happened to me.
It happened to you.
Yeah. I mean, the level of comfortability you have with someone too. And I said this on the podcast. Comfortability is not a bad thing. It's when you get complacent.
Yeah,
It's good to be with someone who
comfortable is
knows you
good.
like the back of your hand.
Complacent
and
is bad.
Complacent is bad. So I don't know, Andrew. Would I
True.
take him back? There would be so many conditions. Is that fair for either of us? So yes. In a perfect world. But no.
But no. Yes, but no.
That would.
Yes, but no.
I don't know. That's such a hard question
You
to
cracked
ask
the
right
window.
now.
What's that?
You
cracked the
cracked
window.
the window.
Yeah.
Like he knows.
He knows.
Like
it's it's interesting. All right, Jessica. So the podcast. How you guys having fun? It's 2 girls and a microphone.
Oh, we're having so much fun.
Was 3 girls and a microphone, but one of the girls had the other commitment. So it's now 2 girls and a microphone. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts, and have a new episode every Wednesday. So
Yeah, Anna and I just went to Costco yesterday and had lunch and did a couple grocery shopping trips at Kroger and Costco, and we're people watching. So we're trying to find something fun for this Wednesday.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Jess. All right, let's take a break. Wow, here is traffic and weather. Things are looking good out there on the roadways. No issues. If you do see one, text me 419-345-3375. As far as weather, it's going to be high today of 44. It's 36 right now. It's going to be windy all day. It was kind of windy all weekend, too. So 44 the high. It's going to be in the 40s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Finally up in the mid-50s on Thursday, and then 60s by the weekend. So, but Friday all weekend it's going to be. That's what they've done to us so far. Is it gets in the 50s or 60s, and then it's rainy every single day. So anyway, currently again it is 36. Traffic and weather brought to you by Taylor Automotive, Northwest Ohio's largest car dealership. Cadillac, Hyundai, Genesis, Kia vehicles. They have the employee pricing right now. You pay what the employees pay at Taylor Kia. Also brought to you by Furniture Palace. Out with the old, in with the new. Furniture Palace. Check out one of their locations and get some new furniture today. They've got some great deals on some great furniture. You're going to love what they have. It's the only place I ever buy furniture is at Furniture Palace. So check them out at one of their locations. Furniture Palace. All right, got to tell you about my friends over at State Line Sauce, the #1 hot sauce in all of Toledo. So many different flavors to choose from. You're going to love 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of them. They got pineapple orange, that original sauce, which is their mango habanero. That's where they started. They've got perfectly garlic, which is their best seller. The Cali Verde with the avocados and the tomatillos in it. So good. You'll love it starting at $9.99. Go to StatelineSauceCO.com. StatelineSauceCO.com and get sauce.
Hey, it's Stephen B. Hardy from the Andrew Z. and Demetrius in the Morning Show. Pumped to tell you about our newest sponsor at Holy Grail Wellness. Holy Grail is the newest and hottest name in the weight loss game, with all kinds of amazing options to choose from to get you a big head start on your weight loss journey. Stop in at 200 Airport Highway in Wasion or call and ask for Kendra or Callie at 419-388-7760. Join me on my journey while starting yours today at Holy Grail Wellness.
We've all heard about it, the Japanese head spot, and it is currently available at Skinology. This ultimate scalp facial will dissolve your stress as they lavish your scalp. They include a scalp analysis, a detox treatment, a deep conditioning treatment, a hair mask, and a scalp massage. Spoil yourself with a rejuvenating treatment that will leave you feeling refreshed and renewed. After all, your scalp deserves some pampering too. To book your appointment, go to skinologyfacebar.com.
Bring it. Andrew Z. and Demetrius in the morning.
Driven by the Taylor Automotive family of fine cars, Northwest Ohio's largest car dealership, Cadillac, Hyundai, Genesis, Kia vehicles, along with quality used cars from top import and domestic automakers. Stop into one of their dealerships, test drive a new car, truck, van, or SUV today. Also brought to you by Skinology, Furniture Palace, Regan Insurance, Holy Grail Wellness, State Line Sauce Company. All right, that is the show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. This week's going to be a short week for us. We're doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for spring break. We're taking Thursday and Friday off and then back the following week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. If you missed any of the show, you can always get it on demand on your podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. get it there. And, of course, we're live every morning, 7 to 9 a.m. Please tell somebody if you wouldn't mind. Thank you so much. Have a great day. We will talk to you tomorrow.